Hello and a very good afternoon to you from the Morodok Teko National Stadium. It's the AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022, the first match of the 14th edition of this wonderful competition, effectively the Southeast Asian Football Championships. And just when you thought you might get a break from all that wonderful international football that we've just had, well, you're in for a treat, because the brightest and the best from the region gather here for what is going to be a fantastic festival of football. Cambodia looking to get out of the group stage is something they have never achieved before against a Philippine side that have had a resurgence over the last decade or so. This is Group A, and there are some tough matches in here for the likes of Brunei and Cambodia, generally regarded as in the lower echelons of Southeast Asian football, and only two from this group will go through. Two, you would think, from Indonesia, Philippines, and defending champions Thailand into the knockout rounds. Well, Philippines, as I mentioned, have really come good over the last decade or so. They've finished in the semi-finals 4 times, most recently in 2018, a disappointing campaign last time out, which is just a year ago, by the way, when it was held in one centralized venue in Singapore. There's Keisuke Honda, the general manager of the side, of course, a superstar in terms of Asian football, played in 3 World Cups for Japan. We'll be keeping a close eye on proceedings along with the head coach, Ryo Hirose, his countryman. Cambodia really looking to try and spring a surprise. With me here throughout this tournament, Rish Roshan Rai, keen watcher of Asian football in particular. And they really do have their task ahead of them, don't they, Cambodia, tonight, Roshan?
Yeah, they do. And I think it's going to be a big test for them up against this Philippine side. And it's a younger Philippine side, I would say, a very different one to Philippine sides that we've seen over the last year or so, especially in that Tri-Nations competition, series of friendly matches that they had playing against Singapore and Malaysia. It's been a difficult time for the Philippines in terms of the direction they want to set on the senior international stage, and that Asian Cup qualification campaign was also pretty poor from them, not being able to get themselves through what was a group that they should have been able to progress from. This competition gives them something to look forward to at the end of the year, and they will look to try and progress from the group and perhaps go on and win it for the very first time. For Cambodia, these matches on the international stage are vital for them. It's something that a lot of these sides don't really get coming around too often. Chance for growth, a young side, and there is a structure in terms of how they want to play their football. Some might say, look at it and say it's the right sort of way, depending on how you view football and how you think it should be played. They try and pass it out from the back, they try and play it through the lines and try and generate attacks that way. But it is going to be a test here against a physical Philippine side who will have a little bit more experience than this Cambodian team.
One thing the Philippines that we know of in the last decade or so, Roshan, they've got a few naturalized players. They've gone looking around the world for talent. And that means a lot of their players, their so-called first 11, are not here because they apply their trade in leagues around the world. How much do you think of a handicap that is for them in this tournament? They still have enough talent?
I still think that they do have enough talent, but look, it's part and parcel of football these days, and in this competition and football in this part of the world, you just need to be accustomed to that and be used to those situations and deal with it.
Of Philippines សូមអញ្ជើញគោរពទង់ជាតិនៃប្រទេសហ្វីលីពីន
Thank you.
Kingdom or the Kingdom of Cambodia សូមអញ្ជើញគោរពទង់ជាតិនៃព្រះរាជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជា Thank you and be seated. ចាសសូមអរគុណសូមអញ្ជើញ
You just got a glimpse there of the main man, Keisuke Honda, who's the general manager, but obviously a lot of attention on him. This is the Cambodia lineup. They have gone through a little bit of change here, largely the same squad from last year, but missing maybe perhaps some of the big names like Prakmoni Udom and Chan Vatanaka up front, but lots of things will go through their youngster Sieng Chantia, who's just 20 years of age. Lots of hope put on that young man. Kyosok Peng is another that may come off the bench, Limpisot as well, and they've got Nicholas Taylor as they look around the world as well for talent. What do you make of that squad overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's a squad that can cause a few issues, especially in the forward line. They will have pace in those areas, and in situations where they'll have opportunities on the transition, it could really hurt this Philippine side.
Philippines have only retained 7 members from the last squad just a year ago. They're going through something of a transition at the moment. Stefan Schrock is their long-serving captain, now into his mid-30s, and we're thinking, Roshan, that he'll be just behind the front two here.
Yeah, I think that's where he could really do some damage. Schrock, you know, he's got incredible quality on the ball. He's a player who likes to receive and take on defenders, and he can create chances for this Philippine side. Hartman has got plenty of experience up front, physical presence for them in those attacking areas, and there is some good pace in this side as well. The likes of Daniels, Minegishi, keep a lookout for them, and you expect the likes of Bias and Amita just to help them control things in those central midfield areas.
Saudi Arabia's Majid Mohammed Al Shamrani is our referee for this one. As is his first assistant. We have an Indonesian second assistant as well as a fourth official. Keisuke Honda. Be interesting to watch that sort of dynamic as with him and Rio Hirose there, and how they're giving those instructions out.
Yeah, I mean, the way he struts his stuff, the way he walks around the technical area, definitely seems like he's the main man, right?
Yeah.
Honda, always looking very fashionable with his sunglasses in the tunnel. But this is the head coach, Rio Hirose. But yeah, that dynamic's always very interesting. You know, you've got someone who's officially listed as the head coach, and I'd imagine he's the one who's usually taking the training sessions. Honda has had his commitments at the World Cup, and he's just recently rejoined the side. I'm sure there'll be a lot of communication between Hirose and Honda, but it's a fascinating setup that they've got there.
Yeah, Hirose took over middle of last year, just March or April last year, after Felix Dalmas left with personal issues, and he was brought in by Keisuke Honda. This is the new man in Jose Maria Ferrer, who's only just been appointed in early December, and that is well, kind of par for the course at the moment. The Philippines also did that in the last tournament as well, didn't they?
Yeah, it's again an interesting one in terms of how they go about selecting the head coaches for the national side. And it is a gamble with Ferrer coming in. He does have experience in Southeast Asian football, much of that in Thailand. And this one, his first job on the international stage. He spoke pre-game about how excited he was being able to lead the Philippines out at this AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup.
So we get our tournament underway then between Cambodia and the Philippines, the AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022. So much excitement building up to this one. Fans in this part of the world always get really into this. That ball is lofted forward. You can hear the crowd get very excited here at the Moradok Teko that was only opened earlier this year. It's quite the venue that's been put together. $150 million it cost. 60,000 seater. It's the early kickoff as well. Don't forget there are 2 matches a day during the group stages. Now come the Philippines. And a little shove in the back, referee says that's a free kick. After a little push there by Soy Visal, the skipper.
Quickly getting it back there, given away by Cambodia. Just having a look at how they're setting up in terms of their shape and their formation. We'll come back to it.
Oh, lovely return ball there to the skipper, Stefan Schrock. Looking to try and assert themselves. Ball in by Hartmann. Well, we saw Cambodia last time round in the last AFF championship, putting up very stout defending at times. Tabinas. And they're going to have a stern test of their credentials. Shifting the ball around quickly. There's Hartmann. These are the games that you really, at home, you've got to try and get something out of, if you're a Cambodia especially.
Oh yeah, I mean you have that that home advantage. I was just taken aback here because I think we've just been given a bit of a guessing game by the coaches of the 2 sides in terms of how we thought they were going to be setting up. And there appears to be quite a few changes in terms of that setup there. Cambodia have gone with the 4 at the back. There's 2 in central midfield and seem to be able to push a few players forward, backing themselves to cause some issues against Philippines.
As that ball comes in, first attempt by any side there, and it's the header from Limsod. Got the crowd a little bit excited just briefly. Yeah, interesting because we were speculating about Mark Hartmann as well being up top, but it looks like Kenshiro Daniels and Stefan Schrock perhaps in support.
Yeah, it's those 2 that'll be playing up front. I thought Schrock would just drop in and play behind Hartmann and Daniels, but Hartmann's been given a role in central midfield here alongside Amita. Seem to be focusing a number of their early attacks down the left.
Also Ferrer mixing things up a little bit. He didn't have the squad for very long. He was only announced on the 8th of December. Known for his work at FC Barcelona Academy. Taking over from Stuart Hall and Thomas Dooley, his predecessors. Has had experience in Asia before with the likes of Kichi and Buriram at their academies. Also at Ratchaburi and Bangkok Glass.
Space for that cross to be sent in. That's a good run by Pisot. Well timed. Going in on the blind side of the defender. They give Muslim lots of time and space to send one in. Kept his header down. Perhaps should have gone across the goalkeeper.
This is Tess Sambat. Well, that somehow got across there to Ryung. Yung Bung Heng. I'm sure he was quite expecting that to get to him. Seems like they've settled just a bit more now, Cambodians, after quite a bright start there from the Filipinos, who were pinging the ball around quite quickly. Bias pushing up there.
You see with Cambodia as well at times, Visal, who's wearing the captain's armband, and number 5, just drop into that back line. He's comfortable playing in there. There we go. That's that back 5 that we thought we were going to get from the start. So a variation in how they're approaching this game, in possession and out of it. It's a 5-4-1, and they do have to sit back in these moments.
Just looking to try and create some pressure there. Yeah, it's important, as you said, to differentiate between in possession and out of it with a lot of these formations.
And you already see Visal, they're just pushing into midfield the moment they have it. Important to remember their formations that you're given at the start can vary throughout the game in different phases. And players as well within those formations given different roles to adjust to and to perform.
Now in possession there, Sieng Chantia, I mentioned, is the big hope for Cambodian football these days. Now it's the turn of the Cambodians to start looking quite quick in possession. On Champolin, who has a go from distance, and Kevin Hansen has to dive across to his right.
A decent attempt from Champolin. He's one of those technical players in midfield for Cambodia. Has good quality on the ball. Tries to help them with their build-up. Not having a go. Space had opened up in front of him. Just took a bit of a bobble. It might have helped him with that shot. In terms of the elevation required, certainly caused Kevin Hansen, or known as Kevin Mendoza, some of you others out there, followers of Malaysian football. Listed officially with us as Kevin Hansen.
Yeah, this time last year he was a Malaysia Cup winner. KL City. Oh, that's half a chance as well. And Cambodia are giving as good as they get. Tess Sambat with the header.
A really good start to this match by Cambodia. And this is the thing with them. They are well capable of playing some really good football and causing problems. And we saw that even at the last edition of the competition. This one is played deep onto the head of Sambat.
Yeah, I remember Russian in their very first match played. They gave Malaysia some nervy moments before Malaysians went on to win, actually quite stylishly in the end, but they caused problems.
Yeah. Well, they have created a couple of chances here. Sambat just needing to get over the ball as it was played into him. It's twice now we've got Philippines defense. Players getting caught ball watching, not having a look over their shoulder. Cambodian attackers on the blind side.
It's Sambat now joining forward. They're coming again here, the Cambodians, and look at it again. This time it's Sieng Chantia having the keeper just making sure, diving across. A willingness to go forward.
Yeah, and again, this is what we said about Cambodia at the start. You know, they have that structure in play. They know how they want to go out and attack the opposition. They're a possession-based side. They want to get it forward, play through the lines, and they do really well to find Chantea. Shown nice mobility in the opening stages of this match. Just dropping off that forward line. We had from Cambodia good structure in possession. We're able to bring the ball forward. Sambat stepping out from defense, providing an extra option in midfield on that occasion.
The opening match against Malaysia, they lost 3-1, but they managed to do in all their games. They lost 4-2 to Indonesia, which means that they really able to score against most of the opposition, except Vietnam when they lost 4-0. It was effectively a dead rubber by then, but they were getting goals at least against some of the bigger nations. Cambodia.
Yeah, they were. And they were nice to watch. And, you know, you often expect sort of smaller sides, you know, to sit back, shut up shop, play in a counter-attack. Cambodia aren't that. They are quite happy to take a hold of the ball and try and play and try and cause problems.
Here's Minagishi for the Philippines, who went a little quiet for the last few minutes. Tabinas. Here is Hartman, playing in a slightly more withdrawn role than we're perhaps used to seeing. Veteran forward, Mark Hartman. Philippines looking to refresh this side. Usually have the likes of Reichelt and of course the newly minted Filipino citizen, Bienvenido Marignon. This time last year, he was leading the line for the Philippines. As they come forward here, Limpisot. Swung across to Chantea. Galantes there.
Yeah, I think he just wanted Galantes the opportunity to have the advantage. He was fouled as he took it off Chantea. Good challenge. I think he would have preferred for the referee to play on.
Ronaldo launches forward, it comes right back at them. He's on Champolin. Nice contest so far. Home and away format. We play 2 at home and 2 away before the top 2 sides are decided. Let's give them an opportunity. This is only the second time that this format has been in place. That does give the fans something, doesn't it? Because you're getting to watch your national team more regularly in this competition.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's always good. We've seen that home and away format in previous editions of this competition, and always tends to bring out quite a decent atmosphere. I think the players enjoy it as well, you know, playing at home, but also having that experience of playing away and trying to keep the rivals quiet, going away to rivals' home ground, and they're trying to shut the shut the home fans up.
Flicks there coming from the Cambodians. And can it be picked up? Loose ball. Hansen had to come rushing up before Limpisot could get there.
Now you just have a look at the movement of the number 9, Chantea. He just pops up into these very interesting spaces. And it's difficult for the Philippines defense to sort of then pick up, because you have to communicate it really early to someone that he's coming into your area, he's moving into a certain space, and there are some spaces that you just can't pick up. That's where he's finding quite a bit of joy, Chantea.
And down here is Kenshiro Daniels. He gets something to the face there. With the back of the head. Yeah, just an arm by Tessambat. Slowly picks himself up. Decent ball played up towards Limpisot. Quick ball in, it's the opening goal! Well, that pressure has paid off for Cambodia. to the delight of their home fans. There's a delightful ball played in, and Rung Boon Heng has opened the scoring for his country, the first goal of the AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022.
That's a great goal. Good finish by Boon Heng. Comes into him quickly, has to redirect that. Gets it past the goalkeeper, and it's a deserved goal for Cambodia. I like the variation that they've shown here in their game. We've seen them pass it through the lines, we've seen them play it forward. On the ground, here they go a little bit longer. We take a look at this, Visal it is with the ball over the top. A run by Pisot in behind the Philippines back line. Gets that support arriving from Bareng. And then Boon Heng positions himself so well, attacks the near post, lets it come across his body for guiding it past the goalkeeper. That's a really good finish.
Any concerns for you there with Aguinaldo?
Again, it's that element of ball watching where they just switched off and they look a little bit flat-footed, the Philippines defense.
Yeah.
It just is concerning for me that what was into the 17th minute of the match and they just haven't quite switched on yet as a whole. There's nothing in defense that they've offered. They haven't looked solid. And they offer nothing with the ball.
They're not going to mind the fact that they don't quite have all the possession right now. The Philippines are in a bit of disarray at the moment. Here's Schrock. It's a stunning lead here for Cambodia, as the Philippines now try to hit back. Daniels will not get there. There's frustration around at the moment.
That little stat graphic came up at a perfect time. It's just saying they offer nothing with the ball, and we saw 0 attempts on goal so far, despite having 54% possession. Cambodia, was it something like 6 attempts?
Yeah.
3 of those
already
on target already.
Not even 20 minutes on the clock. It's been very, very good start here from the Cambodians. Long way to go in this match, but they are showing a willingness here to go forward at every opportunity. Tabinas will get there. You have to try and shepherd that out. Siang Chantiao was right on him. There's a real desire about this side at the moment.
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, they're playing with their lots of confidence at the moment. You know, this Cambodian side. A real belief that you know, they're playing at home. It doesn't matter that they're playing against one of, on paper, the strongest sides in the group. A belief that they're going to go out there and get something out of this.
I just wonder, Roshan, with the FIFA World Cup just ending, I wonder whether, you know, teams are looking at some of the upsets in world football and thinking, you know, anything's possible now.
Yeah.
Just that little, especially because it's just happened. You know, I wonder if teams feed off that kind of thing.
I'm sure they do. Players will, you know, have been watching. They've been observing, and they would have seen what some of the sides, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, for example.
Right.
And even Japan spoke about that. Spoke about being lifted by the fact that Saudi Arabia were able to get a result.
And then the Koreans see what the Japanese did, and then they feed off that, right?
Exactly. So, you know, I don't think it's silly at all to say that players, you know, get a lift from those results. Let's see, Pisot, need a bit of skill, winning a free kick.
Been very lively, hasn't he? In fact, I mean, there isn't one player from Cambodia who hasn't. That's a delightful ball. Can that be pulled back? Boon Heng couldn't quite see it. Has that just made its way in? It has! Well, Hansen had a lot of bodies in front of him. And the second goal has been scored on Champolin, who's been taking a few long-range efforts. Now has his name on the score sheet.
What a start for Cambodia. And you can't say it's not deserved. They've been on it right from the first whistle. We saw an early effort from Chanpolin from range, get palmed away by Kevin Hansen. This time around, he's found the back of the net.
There's a little huddle here. The captain, I think it's probably a good idea. He's got to do something. He's got to shake them up.
I mean, look at these players. They're just switching off, not tracking runners in behind. And once more, it's down the left. You have Bareng overlapping, giving Pisot that option on the outside. Champolin is switched on. gets into a good position, keeps his shot low, shows good technique, which is what he said he has. And it's caused a problem for Kevin Hansen.
Well, it looked like the moment had gone, didn't it, with Bun Heng. Not quite sorting his feet out, but then Champollion pouncing. They can hardly believe it. Cambodia, 2-0 up. Russian, they got 70 minutes now to see this through. The temptation would be now, we've got that 2-goal cushion. But I'm not sure they're going to do that, just the way that they've played.
Temptation to sit back.
To sit back.
I don't think they need to. I think
that
that could, in a sense, be inviting trouble as well. I mean, we've just seen the Philippines need to have an impromptu team meeting after conceding that second goal. But what I think Cambodia will not do is will not take unnecessary risk, obviously, at this point. I'll still try and stick to the game plan, to the style of play. Make the Philippines chase. Make the away side have to come after the result, because the Philippines now, they're the ones who have to take all the chances.
I suppose even after they took that first goal lead, they didn't sit back either, did they? They kept going for it. They kept pushing forward.
That's right. And I love that. I'm going to go back to that word variation again. I love the variation in their play. We saw it with a little bit of a longer pass with the first one. Here we go, another longer pass in behind. And with the second goal, we saw that slick passing move. Short passes, good running off the ball. A lot of that running off the ball from Cambodia has been difficult for the Philippines to deal with.
We just talked about that FIFA World Cup, and Roshan had mentioned earlier that Keisuke Honda had commitments there at the World Cup. He's flown straight in. He's brought some of that positive energy from Team Japan as well. Ryo Hirose said that having him around just gives him a bit of a boost. He's regularly communicating with the team. He also admitted, of course, that they're playing a team ahead of us. Most of the teams are ahead of them in the FIFA rankings. And this is a good challenge for them. And you talk about variation. He said that they've had a lot of different tactical ideas. He's admitted that. He said that we're looking at different things. And they're prepared to go and try and get a target of going through the group. Well, right now, this is a very good way of doing that. 2-0 up against the Philippines. This is a massive scoreline at the moment in terms of a team that's really struggled in this competition.
I like how it also looked like they've worked on getting some really good attacking balance when they have the ball. You know, we've seen early on with Chantea down the right, getting into some good positions, and they were stringing a few moves together, and then the couple of goals that they scored come from down the left as well, showing that they are a threat from both sides of the pitch, and they've got the players on either side to cause difficulties.
Yes, he's not going to get there. We did mention the Philippines are going through quite the transition at the moment. Only a few survivors from the previous edition, which was only a year ago. There are only 4 players in the squad that have more than 14 caps. There's more than enough talent in here. Ball from Schrock into the very grateful arms of the goalkeeper, Kyo Soksela, who's been a passenger so far.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Philippines and talent, and surely that is not going to count as a shot on target, right? From Schrock, that was a cross into the area, so I hope statistically
well,
they're not going to get that. You'd like to think so. But going back to the Philippines, and we always talk about the talent, and this, for me, has been a year where we've always said about the Philippines, the talent is there, but they just haven't been able to put it together. Think back to the Tri-Nations, as I mentioned, the series of friendlies.
It was their so-called full-strength squad.
That's
it was
right.
a FIFA window.
That's right. It was poor. The last edition of this competition, they weren't really, I would say, at their best. It wasn't a very good looking Philippine side. You also had that Asian Cup qualification. Again, that was a disappointing campaign for them, for a nation who is able to boast of the kind of quality that they have in their ranks. But
they've got, right?
there's obviously something else going on behind the scenes in terms of structurally, how do they sort of put this together? How do they sort of gel these players and work and get those results out of it?
Yep, he's got a lot on his plate here, the new man, Jose Ferret. Look at that space here. Bun Heng. Now Lim Pisot. Very, very comfortable on the ball at the moment, Cambodia.
You just have a look at, again, this is a great shot because you see the links in possession, you see players and the options available. You know, they're not too far to get apart. They're close to each other. There's always an option for the player on the ball. And they're being encouraged as well to hang on to it, to keep their composure in possession, to pass it. There's no rushing with this Cambodian side.
Yeah, this is frustration. You just saw a shot there of Stefan Schrock. He's looking back at his players. The body language is one of real probably irritation as well at what's going on. And you're right, Roshan. Every time they have the ball, there's something there for them, isn't there? Look at that. The ball's been allowed to bounce. Lim Pisot on it. Now on Champolin, who scored that second goal. Little triangles, little passes. We'll get a corner out of this. They are causing real problems at the moment.
Well, I tell you what, the structures are there, but the level of technical play, I mean, you just see some of these touches, 1 and 2 touch football, pass and move, tricks and flicks coming out. They're enjoying themselves. They're good footballers.
It's over for another corner off Tabinas. You know, this is a Cambodia side that have struggled recently. They lost to Malaysia just a few days ago, 4-0. They lost to Bangladesh on the 22nd of September. A match, by the way, they're ranked about 22 places below them in the rankings, and Keisuke Honda had to come out and publicly apologize for that. Boy, things have shifted, haven't they? Here's Lim Pisot. That should be easy for Kevin Hansen. Mind you, by the same token, the Philippines have also had a very poor 2022. The only win they've had has been against Timor-Leste. On July 16th, they won 4-0. Otherwise, they've not scored any goals, Russia. Not even getting draws. They're not even scoring.
Well, this is exactly what I was saying earlier. It's been a poor year for Philippines.
Losing to Philippines, drawing with Yemen. I will say, sorry, they did get a very late goal against Mongolia in qualification, but by then it was over for them with their new star, Gerrit Holtmann, in the Bundesliga. Got thrashed by Palestine and then lost to Vietnam recently. That was a late goal. Right now, they are trailing stunningly here against Cambodia. But if you look at the context of the game, there's nothing stunning or surprising about what we're seeing at the moment.
That's a deserved lead for Cambodia, and he's got a lot on his plate to deal with, Ferret.
Tabinas launches. The flag might just go up. Yes, it will. Offside there for Galantes.
And once more, another spell of possession, a phase of possession that's really come to nothing, and Cambodia are quite comfortable. This is sitting in this sort of mid-block, not too deep, not very high, just waiting for Philippines to move into halfway. Really, at the moment, Philippines just lacking ideas as to how to get past this Cambodian defensive setup.
Here's Hartman. Yeah, they're well organised, aren't they, at the moment? Now Tabinas. Half an hour gone. AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022. Here in Group A, Cambodia up against the Philippines. It seems a lot of speculative balls as well from the Philippines.
Well, there's no precision in the game from the Philippines just yet. Yeah, they see a runner going in behind, and it's almost as if they're saying, okay, I'm just going to play a ball over the top. There's no, it doesn't seem like there's an intent behind a decision to make a pass, for example.
In stark contrast, what we're seeing from the Cambodian, Siang Chantia has done really well past Galantes. And Hartmann is there. They are causing all kinds of problems down the flanks. Here's Chun Chanchav. Soy Visal.
Well, I said at the start that this was going to be a test for Cambodia. And at the moment, they're passing with flying colors.
More of a test for the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, some instructions being backed down the sidelines. Look at that quick passing, Bun Heng. Maybe too much on that one. But there's pockets of space, isn't there?
Yeah, you look at that, the pass and move. And again, there was, if that was the right ball, there was actually an overload here on the right-hand side for Cambodia. You had Muslim joining in with Chantia, getting forward. That's given away. That's so poor from the Philippines. And Cambodia, even in those, you heard Ferrer. You picked up Ferrer on the touchlines, encouraging his side to press, and he was happy with the way they were pressing there. But Cambodia just went one touch, two touch, in and around you, and Philippines pressing structure, although there's moments where they're looking to try and put Cambodia under pressure. That's broken.
Om Champulin. There's Amita. Haven't seen too much of him yet. Now Hartmann. Tabinasu plays his football with Amito Hollyhock in Japan. Galantes. And it's one back by the Cambodians. Not for the first time that has happened. Turned over, nicely done. Soxella with a rare touch for him. Kisuke Honda likes that pass. To you, Muslim.
How good is this, though? I mean,
look how they've done that, Roshan.
Yeah, exactly. They've held on to the ball, inviting that pressure from the Philippines, and then a pass out by Soxella into Muslim. Again, that press is broken. They can bring it back. Philippines have to now then drop off.
It's comfortable, isn't it, right now for Cambodia? Tess Sambat just looking for a little run there, perhaps, from Muslim. They'll be quite happy to stroke this around, won't they?
We've seen this from Cambodia. We have. You know, we have seen this. It's been a part of their development, and we've seen this from them in the last edition of this competition. The thing now for them is, can they have that consistency?
That should be straightforward for the keeper. Well, that was a good minute and a half, 2 minutes on the ball.
This might be, I think, the first time that I can remember seeing Cambodia have such good control of a game. I know there's a long way to go in this one. There's a long way to go in the competition. But these are very encouraging signs.
I'll just give you the overall record for Cambodia in this competition. This is their 9th tournament out of the previous 13 that have happened. And they have played 30 games. They've won 4. They've never had a draw. 26 losses. And Russia, that's an interesting stat here.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers there are higher for the Philippines with the duels won and the tackles that they're winning. It's understandable because the Cambodians are forcing Philippines into more defensive actions.
Yeah.
You know, because they have the ball, they're making them chase. The Philippines are having to do more defending, and that's why those numbers are as they are. I'm just providing a bit of context.
I'll just finish what I was saying earlier, that just 4 wins out of 30, 26 losses. They've only scored, prior to this, 29 goals in 30 matches. So on average, they score less than a goal a game. They've got 2 here. They're giving the ball away. Schrock. This is about as deep as they've gotten to that final third. Yeah, that's the first shot of any kind for the Philippines. Has no real issues there for Kyosoksela.
Well,
this is probably their biggest fear right now, right?
Exactly, I was just going to say that's where they need to be very careful that they don't give Philippines any encouragement to get themselves back into this game. It's come about from their own error. Schrock has to receive that. He's looking for options. Found one. Get away with it, Cambodia.
Looking to get that up to Hartmann, who made a big run. And they've really had very few touches inside that final third, or any kind of action there to create any pressure on that Cambodian defense.
And we saw lower ball retrieval numbers for Cambodia. We saw lower numbers in terms of those tackles won and duels won and things like that, because at times the Philippines in possession have just given it away. So it's not been a case of any Cambodian players having to go and retrieve the ball or having to put in a tackle, because opposition is just doing it for you.
And for the record, Philippines, this is their 13th participation tournament. Played 49 matches. They've won 10 matches. They'd lost 30, and that's because Russia, there was this huge period in the tournament where they couldn't buy a win, could they?
When they were in the eras of Philippines football.
Yeah. They were like a Cambodia, weren't they, in the past?
Some of us who are old enough to remember a very different Philippines from what we're seeing these days.
Yeah. Here's Tess Sambat. Very quick pass to Muslim on this right-hand side. Sosuhana, another one of the relative veterans. We barely said his name tonight. Quietly going about his business. Muslim surging forward. Out wide to Seng Chantia. Advancing, now cuts inside. Still with Cambodia. Are they going to turn it on in the last few minutes before half-time? Maybe even look for that third. Sosuhana. Limpisot. Very comfortable on the ball here, the Cambodians. Tess Sambat. He's just trying to get that up to Chantia. Oh, Galantes almost. He does lose the ball in the end. Seng Chantia. Now Muslim puts it in the box. I just feel like they've just cranked it up again, the Cambodians. Well, it's back with the Philippines, but again, little moments where they looked in disarray, Roshan.
Yeah, and Cambodia, when they want to, there's this feeling now that when they want to, they can go up the gears, cause an issue, cause a problem. Otherwise, again, they're quite happy to just hold off, give Philippines the ball.
Yeah, they're dictating the tempo, aren't they?
They are. They're in control of this game. You know, in possession, they're controlling the ball well. They're controlling the game in that phase of play. Off the ball, they control space as well.
Here's Aguinaldo. Now Tabinas. Hartman looks up. Kenshiro Daniels. There's the new man in. Amita, and they do pounce on it. The keeper could only parry it. And Daniels struck. A good time for the Philippines to pull one back. Very much against the run of play. But they have got their goal.
Yeah, just have a look. That's much better from the Philippines, because when you have a look at them in possession, they were patient, but it's not just about being patient. They were able to have these little overloads in behind Cambodia's midfield in those central areas. And I think Soxela needs to be hanging on to that shot. Comes from well out. And he parries it back into a dangerous position for Daniels to pounce on the finish. Just have a look at the numbers they have here. Occupying that Cambodian back line. Space opens up for a shot from range. Yes, it takes a bit of a bounce, but really I think Soxela needs to gather that. Gives Daniels the chance to pull a goal back for the Philippines. This will give the away side a lot of encouragement. If he's not going to claim that,
you want to parry to the side, right?
Wide.
Yeah. Even with that bounce.
It's not like it's bounced right in front of him. You know, there's still some way to go after it's taken a bounce off the turf.
Yeah, that's a disappointing goal as far as Cambodia are concerned. Just giving that right before half-time to the Philippines, who are now forward here with Schrock, who's going to wait for some reinforcements. This time he gets down and holds on to it. A shot from Minagishi. Well, that will give them real cause for optimism. Philippines.
There's another look at this. And you can understand the goal giving the Philippines a lift.
Yeah.
An important phase of the game for Cambodia here, who, well, up till 38-minute mark, looked very comfortable.
Controlled.
Looked very controlled.
Yeah, it's amazing how just a goal just shifts in momentum, even if you're trailing.
I mean, we've seen that.
We saw that just a couple days ago, didn't we? But here come Cambodia. The shot into the very grateful arms from Lim Pisot into the arms of Kevin Hansen.
And we're asking about players watching the World Cup, and we saw that with Argentina and France as the shot comes in from Pisot. Well, enough to really cause an issue for Kevin Hansen. But he's been lively, he's been sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, 2-0 is just not a lead nowadays, is it? You just, one goal could be a catalyst, couldn't it?
Well, veering dangerously close to cliche territory about how 2-0 is a dangerous lead to have.
Daniels doesn't get enough on it. Schrock is first to gather, but the flag has gone up. Probably coming now at a good time, that half-time now for Cambodia, just to reset and reassuring words, I'm sure, from Hirose and Keskonda. More of the same for you, Roshan?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, aside from that shot that was spilled, I don't think the Philippines have caused much of note in terms of creating danger.
And outside of that, Cambodia haven't really put a foot wrong?
Yeah.
It's boy.
Just these moments that Cambodia, it's that consistency that I was talking about again, you know.
We saw that earlier mistake as well, didn't we? When he was trying to clear the ball and it was given away to Schrock. Oh, second time he's done this in the last 30 seconds here. Soxela.
Just a bit of a wobble now for Cambodia.
Yeah, he's the most experienced goalkeeper in this squad, Soxela. 17 caps. Just 2 minutes of added time. So Yati is the other one who's not made the call up this time. He's got 37 caps, the 31-year-old. They've gone with Soksela as the number 1 in this tournament for now. Here he is. Talking the World Cup, Roshan, it's refreshing to see just 2 minutes about a time at the end of the first half.
To be fair, there's not been too many instances of any real stoppages, any injuries, any players rolling around.
No, but that's also because it's flowed so nicely with Cambodia whenever they're on the ball. Here's Hartman, who's been very busy. Looking for Daniels. Into this final minute of added time, the first half here. Now, can they get a third here? Cambodia advancing. Is that a foul? The referee just looks away, not interested at all. Well, that is going to be a talking point. And the man next to me, I think, chomping at the bit here.
Well, I think that's a penalty. Wow. Bissot, just have a look at this. He pushes it away from the defender. Ah, no.
Is he leaning in? Is he leaning?
I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that back. Bissot, I think he's going down as the contact comes in. I take that back. Well done to the referee.
But they got behind again.
That's right.
Long range on Champolin. He's probably thinking, why not? And that brings to an end an extremely entertaining first half and a stunning scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good half of football, especially from Cambodia. Just unfortunate that they've allowed Philippines to come in, but this will give the away side some hope in the second half, going into the second half. 2
goals from Cambodia, from Bunheng and Champolin. Gave them a stunning 2-0 lead. And then we had a late goal pulled back by Kenshiro Daniels. Halftime score here is Cambodia 2, Philippines 0. 2-1.
លោកអ្នកនាងប្រិមិត្តទស្សនិកជនជាទីគោរពនិងជាទីមេត្រីសូមអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យនាងខ្ញុំជំនុំមកឲ្យនាយកដ្ឋានគ្រប់គ្រងនៃពហុកីឡដ្ឋានជាតិមរតកតេជោយើងខ្ញុំសូមធ្វើការស្វាគមន៍យ៉ាងកក់ក្ដៅនិងរីករាយក្រៃលែងចំពោះការអញ្ជើញចូលរួមទេសនានិងគាំទ្រការប្រកួតកីឡាបាល់ទាត់ AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup ឆ្នាំ2022រវាងក្រុមជម្រើសជាតិកម្ពុជានិងក្រុមជម្រើសជាតិហ្វីលីពីននាពេលនេះដើម្បីរក្សាឲ្យបាននូវគុណភាពសោភ័ណភាពនិងតម្លៃដ៏មហាសាលនៃវិមានពហុកីឡដ្ឋានជាតិមរតកតេជោមួយនេះឲ្យបានល្អនិងគង់វង្សស្ថិតស្ថេរ
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ Để không bỏ lỡ
Philippines
The wider positions.
Yeah, he's only a little less inexperienced, or a little less experienced, I should say, than the man who replaces Galantes, who has 6 caps for his country. He only has 2. Ardi Menzi plays for Kaya Iloilo. And the other player that's come on, Sandro Reyes, also only has a handful of caps to his name, 19-year-old. And he did say, Ferrer, that he had made a conscious decision to build a squad around a group of young players, along with some experienced ones. Foul there by Kenshiro Daniels.
That's good defending by Chanchav. It's going across the line of Daniels.
How much would that late goal for the Philippines have changed sort of the complexion and also the conversation at half-time?
Well, it obviously gives the whole side a lift, and it makes the half-time chat a bit more comfortable, a bit easier for the coach. You know, now you've gone from being 2 goals down to saying to the side, look, we're back in this. You know, just a goal, and we're on level terms. And he will say to them, there's so much more. He knows that there's so much more that they'll be able to deliver.
Schrock up to Daniels here. And you and I were talking, Roshan, it's now about Cambodia. Got to keep calm, right? They don't want to get nervy because now that 1 goal has, of course, got them a little bit more tense. And they were very comfortable before.
Yeah, and just under pressure in the final 5 minutes to sort of that first half. So I think that half-time break would have been welcome by Honda and Hirose. And the players as well. Just gave them that time to just reset, get a few instructions on board, work on a couple of things. But really, there's going to come a point in their development as a national team where they are going to have to suffer at times, see out these results, get out of that. Well, sometimes have been described as being a little bit naive, get out of that naivety, and get results across the line. If you just see Sambat here giving away a free kick, which is going to put his side under pressure. A positive introduction has been made by the Philippines with Sandro Reyes coming on, 19-year-old as you mentioned, already looking comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Hartmann here to take this free kick. They've got the physical specimens here to create problems. That was a good decision there. In the end, not to try an attempt to catch that one from Soxela. Ferrer there, looking to get some instructions across to his players. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Bunheng won't get it there. There's Tabinas. Oh, he does well, doesn't he, Bunheng?
He's annoyed with the assistant referee because he thought he was shielding the ball out of place. Inside with a throw in, he'll be able to get support arriving. But he's done very well there, Bunheng. Anyway, just to take it off Tabinas.
Soxela launches. There's a new left back, Menzi. There's Tess Sambat. Little nutmeg there, I think, on Stefan Schrock. Hansen comes out to gather. Another substitute that's now on. Sandro Reyes getting a touch on. Lingbo back to his keeper. Menzi to Schrock, who's tenacious, keeps holding the ball. Plays that through to Daniels. Here's the fullback, Menzi. Oh, lovely bit of skill, Minagishi. Perhaps showing a little bit more what they can do going forward.
Yeah, good work by the Philippines. Down the left, Schrock again just dropping off into a deeper position. I love that run that was made into the area by Reyes. The number 6 has made a big impact since he's come on. Nice bit of skill to take it past the Cambodian defender. Was perhaps looking for the cutback. Now, this is so much better from the Philippines already. And listen, I think it's fair to say we didn't see the best of them the first half. We all know what they're capable of. We're starting to see glimpses of that.
As this match wears on, you're going to see the Philippines trying to apply more and more pressure in search of goals. That's how the Cambodians cope with that. They've resisted the temptation to make changes on their end. Barang. Looking at the forward, Run Bung Heng. Hartman. Aguinaldo, Hartman happy to drop back. Oh, he's given that away very carelessly, and you can see Ferre's reaction to that. Schrock trying to win it back as a foul. Could he have played the advantage? And that's what the Cambodians are saying. There's going to be a booking for Schrock. He'd probably be quite happy with that because he's managed to disrupt play.
Yeah, I'll be happy with it. Taken one for the team. Cambodia once more just frustrated by the referee's a lack of willingness to play the advantage. Just quick to the whistle. That's a lovely bit of skill by Visal. That's confirmation of that yellow card.
Yeah, they were in a good position, weren't they, the Cambodians? They were furious with that. Aguinaldo there, and Bun Heng.
It's two big guys coming together. That's one to keep an eye on. Bun Heng and Aguinaldo.
They're not overawed by this situation at all. Cambodia have been very happy to take things to their opponents.
That is typical Aguinaldo though, isn't it? Loves getting involved in those physical battles.
This is where, Roshan, perhaps the crowd can also be that 12th man, can't they? When they maybe sense that perhaps the opponents are trying to assert themselves.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It certainly can. They give you a lift. And important that crowd realizes that they have that power in them as well, that they can make an impact, that they can influence things to a certain extent on the pitch. The players will often talk about how they get extra motivation playing in front of, you know, crowds who are providing a really good atmosphere.
Here's Lingbo for the Philippines. Goes back all the way to his goalkeeper. Seeing a lot of the ball at the moment, the Filipinos. Daniels bearing down, bit of hesitation there. They've got the equaliser. Well, it just seemed to be everything stopping, everything going in slow motion for Cambodia. And within 9 minutes of the second half, the Philippines have drawn level. Either side of half-time, they've got their goals.
That's a good finish by Daniels through the legs of Soxela. Nice run in behind. But you have to, again, ask questions of the defending Cambodia here. It's Aguinaldo with this ball over the top for Daniels to chase. Just splits the two defenders there. It's in between Chanchav and Barang. Keeps his cool. Soxela, I think, initially was wanting to go off his line and rush out to help gather that, and he should have. Again, that decision-making was poor from Soxela.
Just hesitated, didn't he?
He hesitated. He came out. He hesitated. He backpedaled. Gave Daniels a chance to then run onto it, and the encouragement to run onto it and provide the finish.
Well, we've got to say, the 2 goals that they have conceded, Cambodia probably not going to go down particularly well with Rio Hirose, the nature of how they conceded.
Well, really frustrating. And Boon Hyang, at the moment, just looks like he's more interested in going around and throwing himself about than trying to get on the ball. Still barging into the back of Aguinaldo.
Oh, lovely work there from Reyes. Here's Schrock. If you're Cambodia, Russian, you just want, I guess you want to gather yourself. You've got to, just got to put that, all those kind of mistakes, because it feels like all that hard work has been undone.
Yeah, that's why it's frustrating. You just have a look at those numbers. 46 attacks to 34 for the Philippines. They have been, in that sense, the more creative side.
Yeah.
Side who've looked better with the ball. And then on the defensive side of things, you have players making those individual errors, making mistakes with their decisions. Soxela, you know, I think it has hurt his side this evening. Again, it's when I look at the sorts of goals that they've conceded against the Philippines, it's really frustrating because they're 2 very soft goals in a sense. Situations that could have been easily dealt with.
Now, can they switch themselves back on? Philippines at the moment. We talked about Cambodia dictating things in the first half. At the moment, it's the Philippines.
Well, I think we expected this response from the Philippines. You know, they had to be the side to come out and take this game to Cambodia. And they were poor. They were so poor in the first half that, you know, it really hasn't taken much for them to just improve things. They're defending a lot higher now, a bit more aggressive, closer together.
Aguinaldo up to Schrock. The flag has gone up. They're quite happy to transition, aren't they, like that?
Yeah, they are.
But you were saying first half it was more hit and hope, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now there seems to be a little bit more intent in their play. But again, really, I think even that pass from Aguinaldo should have been dealt with by Soxela. Should have come off his line, cleaned it up, sweeped up behind his defense, instead of coming out, hesitating and backpedaling.
Now, here come the Cambodians, surging forward. This is Barang. Oh, he's got options. Overlapping run. And it's found its way in, Barang! Boon Hyang, rather. Nodding it to that far corner. He's directed it beautifully. A smile on his face. He's been getting physical the last few minutes. But a deft touch from him gives Cambodia the lead again.
That's a very good finish by Boon Hyang. And again, he just attacks at near post. Gets enough direction on his header. to get it past Kevin Hansen. And this is the quality that Cambodia have in attack. They just now need to make sure that defensively they don't give things away cheaply. There's another look at it. Again, it's patient play. Down the left was where they sort of try and build the attack. And then that supporting run, the overlap arrives. Chantea and Muslim, as I mentioned in the first half, caused a lot of damage. The wing play from Cambodia this evening has been fantastic. Clipped into the area. That's not an easy header. That's not an easy finish from Boon Heng. There's not much pace on the cross. All that's beaten Kevin Hansen is the direction. Good, precise finish by Boon Heng.
Well, they're going to make some changes here. And man who scored the second goal on Champolin is replaced by Boris Koch. Well, goal scorer. He's on a hat-trick. Ryung Boon Heng is replaced by Kyo Sok Peng. Is that a little bit surprising for you?
Not really. I think there was a sense that the Boon Heng had perhaps just taken his eye off the ball a little bit and was...
except when he came for that header.
Except when he came for that header. Well, listen, obviously that change was made in advance.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that he scored that goal, you don't really change those plans back again. Right? You've obviously spotted something that you want to try differently.
Yeah, the man who replaced him, 30-year-old Kyo Sok Peng, who's a relative veteran in this side, 58th cap today. And he's also had experience of playing in Malaysia for Perak FC, effectively their second team. And the other one who's come on, we'll talk about that in a second because we've got a third change here for the Philippines. Jesus Maliko. He's going to come on shortly. Here comes Cambodia. Lim Pisot. The crowd excited again. He cuts inside. Still on the ball. He's gone down maybe a little too easily, hasn't he?
I think the referee is just going to have a word with Pisot. Say, really good run. Mesmerizing, but don't try and con me into giving you a penalty.
Melita is coming on. Minagishi goes off on the other side.
Yeah, here's Pisot again looking dangerous, and you see just behind him you still get that overlapping run from Barang. He knows he has to just provide an option, get forward.
There was a leg put out, but not enough to...
There was a leg dangled.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was enough to really get the referee to give a penalty for that. But Pisot has been so good. Down the flanks, Cambodia have really hurt the Philippines.
There's a new man in, Kyo Sok Peng, who's come on for the striker Boon Heng. Tension in the air. Boris Koch, who's just come on, having some words there with... Oh, he's going to get a booking as well. He's literally just come on. Man who was born in France. One of 3 players in this Cambodian squad. Born in Nancy. Currently plays with Kelantan United in Malaysia.
A bit of a silly one to pick up. It's a good turn by Schrock. Wasn't happy with the challenge. And they're coming together after that.
Up the other end. Soxella, he's really struggling to have any kind of consistency tonight, isn't he?
So that's terrible from Soxella again. It needs to be claimed, it needs to be gathered.
Wasn't that much pressure on him on that one, was there? Well, I just wonder whether this is giving food for thought now to the coach. About the next game and whether you persist with Soxella, because there's been a lot of mistakes. Even prior to that opening goal, right at the end of the first half, he just looked unsure of himself, didn't he?
Yeah, there are a couple of instances where just didn't look that confident.
So now that they've got the third goal, Cambodia really, they've given themselves the lead again. They've given away two very soft goals. They have to be so switched on now, right?
They have to be, but I still think, in general, Cambodia have actually played really well. And you look at the scoreline and you think, yeah, it was really close. And
it's not a fair reflection of the game, right?
It's not really a fair reflection, because you look at the two goals that the Philippines have scored.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from them, but really, I mean, they were kind of avoidable goals, and they should have been dealt with a lot better by Cambodia defensively, and Soxella especially. Whereas when you look at Cambodia, and we look at the goals they've scored, they've had to work really hard to create those chances, and they've been very good goals.
There's Lingbo, lung-busting run from him. He's not managed to keep it in.
It's actually been a case of Cambodia structuring attacks well and creating good chances.
The man that just came on, Jesus Melisa. Also just a handful of caps. He made his debut this year. Plays for Kaya Ilo. And as Roshan mentioned, there's more and more of these players that are now born in the Philippines. So they're looking, I think, to bring through a new generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's something they do have to look at, they do have to do.
He's through here, Schrock! And he's redeemed himself somewhat, the goalkeeper. But again, getting behind that defence a little too easily, Stefan Schrock.
That's a good save by Soxella. I like that he stands up here. I just wait for that shot to arrive from Stefan Schrock. That's good play by the Philippines. A give and go, spinning in behind. Just needs to try and hit the far post, I think. Yeah, I don't think he catches it as cleanly as he would have liked. Might have just come off his shin just a little bit.
Here they come on the counter. Sinchantia couldn't quite control it. Quite often we're seeing a very quick ball over the top from the Philippines. How does Cambodia try to counter that?
Well, that one there, where it was just a quick give and go, that can be very difficult to read, because you know you need to, as a defensive unit, one of your defenders needs to quickly switch on and track the run of Schrock in behind. But sometimes it's just difficult to defend.
That's a decent ball, just a bit too much on it. Well read there by Kevin Hansen.
But if you're talking about simple balls over the top, then you need to be obviously understanding that there's no pressure on the ball ahead of you. So you need to be reading potential runs that are going to be coming in behind, instead of just watching the pass. Get ready, side on, get ready to drop off into the space behind you to try and protect that. It just comes down to these anticipation and reading of the game and reading of the situation as well.
There we go, up towards Kenshiro Daniels. Reyes to Hartmann. Tabinas again going long. Oh, is he taking advantage of that? No, it was a foul by Schrock, who of course disagrees with the referee on the foul on Sambat.
He's having more of an influence on the game, Schrock. A lot better, a lot more we're seeing of him than we did in the first half. There was a bit of a nudge in the back of Sambat.
Here's Reyes, who's had a positive impact on this Philippine side since his introduction. They are 3-2 down here. The Azkals, as they're also known as. Pias does well to keep it in. Now Reyes was looking for Schrock. Intercepted by Visal. There is frustration in this Philippines team. Clear through on goal. Xiang Chantia opened himself up, and that's an important save by Hansen.
What a save. Great work by Chantia to touch that and turn. Odi Menzi getting in behind, and he set himself up for that finish to try and guide it, bend it around. Kevin Hansen, outstretched left leg. What a chance. What a save.
Is there anything more that he could have done, Chantia? Come closer? I mean,
maybe try and lift it, try
yeah.
to get a bit of elevation on that.
But everything else was good,
really,
wasn't
everything else was brilliant. And he knew exactly what he wanted, that he wanted to pass it around. Kevin Hansen.
They've got this corner now, taking it short. Well, rising there to try and get the header in, Kyo Sok Peng. Visal letting fire, letting loose there. It's well, what we're seeing, Roshan, is, again, the Cambodia not wanting to just sit back on the lead, are they?
No, and again, when they've been playing this well in attack, they can create chances.
Right.
They do create chances.
And with the defending that we have seen, it's probably best that they try to play on the front foot.
Listen, I'm not complaining. More goals and more attacking we see, all the better for us.
Well, that is absolutely brilliant from Bahrain. Get the free kick here. Oh, the new men in. Boris Koch. There's a brains trust there. You can just see in the bottom right-hand corner the Philippines thinking what they should do next. They have got no real out-and-out forward left to call upon. And they've conceded a free kick here.
And a good position, free kick in a really good position for Cambodia. That's far too easy, and it's so sloppy from Tabinas. There's absolutely no need for him to do that. The shove in the back. The player that you are towering above. Oh, he's never going to win that header anyway. Sok Peng.
Well, he is. Because of that, they find themselves in a potentially dangerous situation here. Pisot, one of the interested parties. Pisot. He has been one of the standout players today, hasn't he?
He's been very good, dangerous. Pisot, obviously a young man with lots of confidence. He causes problems with where he runs at defenders. Nice and direct.
Kenshiro Daniels replaced by Javi Gayoso. Well, they needed to do something. The man who's scored a couple of goals for them has been yanked off. Both players on hat-tricks will not get their opportunity to score 3 tonight. 25-year-old Javi Gayoso. Forward from Kaya Iloilo. Also one who's only got a handful of caps, made his debut 5 years ago. Still 15 minutes or so away, Cambodia, from what would be a historic win for them. Can they hold on? Hartman launches that forward. Still with the Philippines, here's Reyes. Bahrain with the header clear. Hartman. Chantia having to help at the back. Aguinaldo. Now Schrock. Putting pressure on that Cambodian defence. Reyes. Foul here on the edge of the area. Having to up the ante now.
Yeah, and they're almost having to try and barge their way through the Philippines. That's good work by Reyes once more. I think he's been a good introduction for them at half-time. Good technical player. I just had that skill. Take it past the defender before inviting the challenge, and he's won a free kick in a nice position. Let's see if Hartman can do a lot better than Pissot did with his effort.
So here's Hartman then. We've got Schrock just in front of that wall. It does just enough, but there's still time here. Decent save there from Soxella. The new man had come in, Gayoso. Well, he's pulled off a couple of important saves for his side after some of those earlier mistakes.
Yeah, he's redeemed himself somewhat. Still some way to go in this in this game. Let's see if Cambodia can hang on and making a couple of changes here.
So Lim Pissot, who's been excellent, is being replaced by Nicholas Taylor. Well, that's got a big cheer, isn't it? And Tess Sambat goes off for Teng Bunchai. I think he's been quite solid today, hasn't he, Sambat?
Yeah, I think he's looked good. And that defensive line in general has been pretty decent. They've handled their individual battles quite well. From a selfish perspective, I wanted to see more of Pissot.
Yeah.
I just think he's a very exciting young talent.
Yeah, Nick Taylor's the new man in of Cambodian and American heritage, 24-year-old. Can play as winger or forward. There's a man down here.
As Chanchav has just gone down, play continues. Referee eventually deciding to stop it so that Chanchav can receive some treatment. The Philippines well within their rights to continue.
Yeah.
The referee is the one who has to make the call.
Yeah, so Nick Taylor is one player who's in. The other one is Teng Bunchai. He's only making his second appearance this for his team.
He just blocks that. I think I've just gone over his ankle.
Just 19 years of age, Teng Bunchai. So Taylor now presumably will just take that role that was vacated by Limpisot. We're into the final 10 minutes here. It's going to start getting nervy for the Philippines, who would have looked at this game and surely thought to themselves, we've got to get the 3 points. This is what we've got to target. An away game. These are one of the so-called minnows of this group, and it's been anything but.
Yeah, I mean, this is just brilliant for the tournament as well. You know, Cambodia here, ready to shake things up.
Okay, also trying to make things difficult there for Soxela. You can hear, just play on, get on with it. Possession more or less the same. The Philippines have caught up with the attempts. Here's Schrock. And Melitha. Now Reyes. A lot of players in there. Schrock has done well. Whips that in. Hartman and Gayoso there. There's going to be another substitution for the Philippines. The final one. Oliver Bias is off for Cholo Bugas. That's presumably not like for like. There he is, Bugas, his first touch on. Coming in at the far post, Melissa.
Yeah, just going over the head of Muslim. Just misjudged the flight of the ball. Melissa looking to attack the back paws, just comes off his shin. Doesn't get a good connection on that at all.
Well, they're going to try and throw everything at this now, the Philippines. Here's Melissa. They'll have a throw in here. Muslim does enough. Cholo Bugas, 21 years of age, also just a very few caps to his name. Some brilliant experienced players in here. His brother Paulo also plays for the national team, and here's Schrock. Now they're asking for a penalty. The referee has not budged at all. But they can't clear their lines at the moment, Cambodia. Schrock. They're saying that should be a goal kick, and of course, Lingbo thought that might be a corner. They're absolutely desperate here to get the equaliser at least.
Well, that's good defending from Cambodia. Yes, they couldn't clear the lines, but they made sure that when it came back in, they tracked runners. That's good defending by Bahrain. They make sure he spots the run of Lingbo, follows him, gets himself into a good position. That eases the pressure.
Well, they are really, really excited about what could be only the 5th win ever for Cambodia in this competition. That really would be something, wouldn't it?
Well, this young team, they've played with a lot of quality, a lot of class, and again, a real belief in their ability. They can do damage.
Boris Koch. He sees Siang Chantia on that right-hand side. Not the best of shots from Sosuhana. They still have the ball here, Cambodia. Bareng. Now Taylor, who slips that into Bareng. Oh, lovely play, and miss hit completely by Sok Peng.
Yeah, the build-up was exquisite from Cambodia, and again, Bareng up and down that left-hand side. An absolute workhorse. Does exactly the right thing with the cutback, and Sok Peng just makes a meal of the finish. To let it run across his body, as we saw Bun Heng do with the first goal that he scored.
Fair to say, of the two sides, Cambodia going forward far more dangerous.
Yeah, easily. Easily the more dangerous of these two sides, and they've been a lot better to watch as well in an attacking sense. The way they've constructed these attacking moves has just been so good.
Chantia did well. Sok Peng, play continues. Here's Taylor. Still Taylor, he'll get the cross in, but straight at Hansen.
Sok Peng there, trying to do as much as he could to prevent Hansen from a quick release.
Aguinaldo launching that towards Melissa. Now Schrock. Here's Reyes. And then Hartmann. Lingbo. Are there enough bodies up there? And Soxella does enough. Oh, lovely work from Chantia. Well, he's also run his socks off, hasn't he? Really has.
He wasn't helped by that pass from Sok Peng. But Chantia, another one who's had a very good game. It's so encouraging for Cambodian football. You've got all these young players coming through, working hard. They're so talented, and they're willing to put a shift in.
You'll identify Bareng as covering a lot of grass today.
I mean, he's played as that left wing back, and he's always offered himself up in attack. When he struck back, we just seen it late on in this game as well. Put a tackle in. Also, just the opportunity the Philippines had before this. Got himself on the back post, put a challenge in, won the goal kick for his side. They're almost there, Cambodia.
Yeah, they can almost see that finish line. Can they just cross it now? Soxella again. Well, he's been a lot better, hasn't he, in the last 20 minutes?
I thought he was going to get caught out there. It's a very interesting delivery by Schrock. That's really, really good delivery, putting Soxella under pressure, giving him something to think about. I'm sure that catches the Cambodian defense a little bit off guard. You can see the position of the corner as well, where Schrock actually puts the ball down, gives him a bit more of an angle to just cut across it.
Into the final minutes of full time here. And the crowd sensing that. Space in the middle of the park here. Sokpeng going for goal, and he had options to his right-hand side there, but it does eventually fall to Muslim. Looking for Nick Taylor. Four minutes to hold on. Can they do it?
Well, they obviously aren't pushing too many players forward now, Cambodia. So there's a cross came in. Taylor was the only blue shirt in the box that Muslim had to hit with his cross. Looking to bring some experience onto the pitch with Thierry Chantabin getting ready to come on for Cambodia.
Yeah, they want to get him on, I think, as soon as they can. Oh, there was a little flick on there, wasn't there? And straight at Soksela.
Straight down the middle. Could have been in trouble here, Cambodia. It's a good run by Gayoso, and he knows exactly what he's got to do. Just try and redirect that towards goal. Let's flick it on. Very difficult to get any real direction into the corners when it's coming off the back of your head.
Urging them. Keisuke Honda, one last defensive effort for the next 3 minutes or so. Goal kick. He talked about experience here. Just at this last part now. What a player. What a match he has had, Siang Chantia.
Yeah, he's been really good. Nice partnership with Muslim. Down the right, Chantia has worked his socks off. And another who's looked very sharp, really bright. There's all sorts of problems with his movement and his quality on the ball.
Thierry Chantabin is now 31 years of age. Another one of those born in France. Youth career with Strasbourg. And has played in Asia really since 2012. Also played in Thailand and Malaysia. Former France under-17 international. Here's Stefan Schrock. They're asking for the throw in. He wanted that, didn't he? Bunchai not going to have it. Looking to get a touch on. No foul, says the referee. Bugas. That's a good clearance away. We're into the final minute here. It's almost cheering as if he's scored a goal, Bunchai.
No, you don't mind that at all. That's a good challenge. Gets the crowd on side as well.
Anywhere will do right now for Cambodia.
I'll tell you what, that's really composed defending by Bahrain. A good awareness of the situation, took a touchdown, puts it out for a throw-in rather than a corner.
Across the goal! They can't get it where they want. The Philippines are now on the break here. How will they treat this? Cambodia. It's one back. The referee's blown the whistle. A historic win, the biggest win for Cambodia in the history of the tournament. They've beaten the likes of Laos, Timor-Leste in the past, but nothing compares to this win.
That's a big win for Cambodia. They've done it. It's a big win for the competition as well, and it's a win they absolutely deserve, Cambodia. Huge 3 points on match day 1 for them at home in front of their fans.
A massive upset here. I don't think many would have predicted it. There are tears around. Absolute delight. They have blown this group wide open. Keisuke Honda was apologizing a few weeks ago. It's a very different story here. A downtrodden Philippines. They've lost their opening match. It ends here at the Moradok Teklo National Stadium. Cambodia 3, Philippines 2.
Cambodia និងក្រុមជម្រើសជាតិនៃប្រទេសប្រ៊ុយណេនៅថ្ងៃប្រហ័សទី29ខែធ្នូឆ្នាំ2022ខាងមុខនេះនៅវេលាម៉ោង 5:00 នាទី
They ready? បាទបុនហៀងអារម្មណ៍មិនដែរដែលបានសុទ្ធបញ្ចូលទី1គ្រាប់និងតែបញ្ចូលទី1គ្រាប់ជួយឲ្យកម្ពុជាឈ្នះនៅក្នុងការប្រកួតបើកឆាករបស់យើងបាទចំពោះអារម្មណ៍ខ្ញុំពេលនេះគឺសប្បាយរំភើបហើយក៏អរគុណដល់ទូតនិកជនដែរដែលបានមកគាំទ្របាទហើយពិតជាមានអារម្មណ៍ថារំភើបតែយើងមិនទាន់បោះបង់ចោលយើងនៅប្រកួតបន្តទៀតបងដើម្បីយើងទៅរកភាពដើម្បីបែកកម្មឡើងពូលយល់យ៉ាងម៉េចដែរចំពោះទម្រង់លេងរបស់ក្រុមកម្ពុជាថ្ងៃនេះចំពោះយើងថ្ងៃគឺសហការនេះបានល្អនិយាយទៅតាំងពីក្រោមមកដល់លើគឺល្អតែយើងនៅមានចំណុចខ្វះខាតបន្តិចតួចអានឹងកែតម្រូវពេលក្រោយសម្រាប់ការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តទៅដល់ទឹកដីឥណ្ឌូនេស៊ី3ថ្ងៃបន្ទាប់បាទចង់បង្ហាញការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តរបស់ខ្លួនចំពោះការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តក៏ដូចខ្ញុំក៏ដូចជាធីមគឺនឹងបដិញ្ញាចិត្តថានឹងប្រឹងអស់លទ្ធភាពនឹងឲ្យបានលទ្ធផលល្អជូនជាតិអរគុណច្រើនបាទជូនពរសំណាងល្អអរគុណ Yeah, it's a great. Today you scored 2 goals, but unfortunately, 3 point goal belong to the house. How you feel today?
It's always disappointing. Score a couple of goals and you still lose, but you know, we have a young squad here. It's a good experience for them. We just have to pick our heads up and look forward to the next game and the rest of the tournament.
How do you think about your team performance today?
Like I said, we have a really young squad, so it's still kind of. We're learning as a team, game by game, and you know, we just have to see where it goes from here.
There are also the Philippine fans in this stadium. What do you want to say to them?
Just thank you to all the fans. Maraming salamat to all the fans that come support us, watch the games on TV, watch in the stadium.
Thank you. Good luck for next match. Thank you.